Bonjour. This is the audio file for week 16, semaine 16. Again, week 16, semaine 16. This tutorial is about the comparative form in French, and to better explain this lesson in 10 minutes or so, I will divide it into two main parts. This current part is about the superiority and inferiority comparisons in French, and the next tutorial will be about the equality comparison. So what do we know about the comparative form? First of all, let me provide some examples in English and in Spanish, and this way I think it will be much easier to establish a relationship between this concept from another language to the French language. Alright? Let's take a sentence like Melissa is taller than Mary. In Spanish, Melissa es más alta que María. Again, another example. Bill Gates is more generous than Herman. Okay, in Spanish, Bill Gates es más generoso que Herman. So in these sentences, I'm sure that you were able to recognize the comparison of superiority in English and in Spanish. More than in English, or adjective plus er, than, and in Spanish, it's the expression más que. Alright, so I'm sure that you recognize these forms. In French, the expression to learn is plus que or plus que. It depends. It depends on the noun that follows plus. Okay? So in French, it is plus que. Again, plus que. Comparisons can be made with adjectives, nouns, adverbs, and verbs. And here are a few sentences in French where the comparison of superiority is employed with an adjective at first. We'll study the comparison of superiority with an adjective in French. This yellow house is more beautiful than this white house. Here we have the adjective beautiful, and we would like to translate this sentence into French. It will be cette maison jaune est plus belle que cette maison blanche. Again, cette maison jaune est plus belle que cette maison blanche. In Spanish, esta casa amarilla es más linda que esta casa blanca. So you see that we have the adjective belle between plus and que. Alright? So make sure that you remember this arrangement of words. The adjective will go between plus and que. Another sentence, we are nicer than you are. We are nicer than you are. In French, nous sommes plus sympathiques que toi. Nous sommes plus sympathiques que toi. Somos más simpáticos que tú. In Spanish. So the formula here to study is object X. This is the first item to compare. Object X plus the verb être, the verb to be, plus the word plus or plus, plus the adjective that you wish to use, and plus que, plus the object Z, which is the second object you wish to compare. Alright, this is the arrangement, the formula to learn in order to use the superiority comparison in French. Now let's study the comparison of superiority made with an adverb in French. Our sentence will be, he speaks more clearly than Tom. In French, il parle plus clairement que Tom. Il parle plus clairement que Tom. In Spanish, habla más claramente que Tom. So again, you have, in order to make a comparison of superiority with an adverb in French, the formula is object X plus the verb plus 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 the adverb plus que plus object Z. Alright, you see the formula on the screen. So yeah. Another example. They work more quickly than we do. We have the adverb quickly between, more than. In French also we have the adverb rapidement. The sentence will be translated will be ils travaillent plus rapidement que nous. So they work more quickly than we do will be in French ils travaillent plus rapidement que nous. We have the adverb rapidement which should be placed between plus and que. Again, just follow the formula and you just plug it in, okay? Trabajaban más rápidamente que nosotros in Spanish. Now, let's move on to the formula, the comparison of superiority used with a verb. We already learned how to make a comparison of superiority used with an adjective, an adverb. Now we're gonna learn how to make a comparison used with a verb. My sentence, as an example, will be: we work more than John. We work more than John. In French, nous travaillons plus que John. Nous travaillons plus que John, or plus que Jean, if you want to. John, Jean. Nous travaillons plus que John. Trabajamos más que John. Okay, or Juan. So as you see here, the formula, when you use the comparison of superiority with a verb, the formula is object x, which is the first object you wish to compare, the first item you wish to compare, object x plus the verb plus plus que altogether, nothing in between, plus object z, the second object that you wish to use. But I will provide you another example with a slight modification in our formula. If I say they read more than before, they read more than before, in French it will be ils lisent plus qu'avant. Ils lisent plus qu'avant. Leen más que antes. In Spanish, as you can see here, the formula slightly changed. Okay, we had the object x, the first item to compare, which was here il, the subject, then the verb, then plus que, and then the rest of the sentence. They read more than before. Anyway, I provided enough details in my written lesson that you can download, so feel free to get it. This is just a quick audio file to show you how to pronounce plus que, moins que. Alright? So now, finally, to close this chapter on the comparison of superiority, let's study the comparison made with nouns. An example in English first. We eat more apples than you do. We eat more apples than you do, or than you. Nous mangeons plus de pommes que toi. Nous mangeons plus de pommes que toi. Comemos más manzanas que tú. Comemos más manzanas que tú in español, in Spanish. Well, the formula here will be object X, which is simply the first item you wish to compare, plus the verb, plus de. Remember, when you use the comparison with a noun, it becomes plus de. Don't forget to use plus de. De should be added. So we have object X plus the verb plus de plus the noun plus que plus object X. All right. Now we have exceptions as usual. The adjectives bon, bien, and mauvais have irregular forms in the comparison of superiority, but this is explained in the lesson. So let's move on to the comparative form of inferiority. Comparative form of inferiority. To make it quicker and easier, I will take the exact same sentences in the superiority form and I will put them in the inferiority form. And sorry again if I'm going too fast, it's just that I have less than 10 minutes to complete this tutorial and I have to cover as much as possible. Let me see how many minutes left I have. Oh, less than 1 minute. Okay. The trick is, let me give you just a quick tip here. There's a little trick to transform sentences from the superiority form to the inferiority one. Whenever you see the word plus in a formula used with the comparative of superiority, the comparison of superiority, replace this word plus by the word moins. It's very easy, and as I said, you can find all these details in my written lesson. Okay, so for example, in the first sentence, which was cette maison jaune est plus belle que cette maison blanche, it will become, in the inferiority form, it will become cette maison jaune est moins belle que cette maison blanche. Okay, guys, I'm afraid I have to leave. I have a few seconds left. The next lesson will be posted in a few days. I hope you enjoyed, and if you have more questions, please feel free to email me. Alright? See you later, and bye. Au revoir. Merci.